What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on my channel. I'm currently downtown. Hope y'all are enjoying the daily uploads. I'm gonna try to upload for it's the month of May. It's your boy's birthday month, so I'm like, you know what, why not pump out some extra videos this month? Why not just pump out some extra content and whatnot? So I'm gonna try to daily upload all of May. I may miss a few days, a day or two, but I'm definitely gonna try to stay on the daily upload grind. I'm on my Vans Big Ripper, guys. I'm not gonna lie, ever since I built this bike up, I've been riding it a lot. When I first built the bike, that same weekend there was a ride out. So I took that bike to the ride out. You know, I got the green light from Todd Lion that I could take it out and show some people. So I was like, all right, bet. Took it to a ride out. Did Uber Eats deliveries with it for a week straight. You feel me? Been to plenty of ride outs with this bike. This bike has yet to go in for a tune-up, but it still rides like new. I mean, sort of, kind of. So in today's video, guys, I wanted to give you guys some wheelie tips that I felt like would help improve your wheelies. You know what I mean? Because I know there's a lot of you guys out there that are still trying to learn how to wheelies, but y'all can't master it yet. Y'all can't find that balance point. Believe it or not, guys, I feel like wheeling is not that hard. It's not something that's hard to learn. It's just letting go of that fear. You know what I mean? Like letting go of that fear that, yeah, you may fall back. Once you learn it, once you find that balance point, everything is gonna click from there. It's really all in that balance point. It's finding the right balance point when you got that wheel in the air. Now, one of the things that I want to put out there is it doesn't matter what bike you use to start learning how to wheelie on. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're on an SC bike. It doesn't matter if you're on a Walmart bike. It doesn't matter if you're on a freaking beach cruiser, all right? Because let me tell you something. I learned the V-brake wheelies. I wish I still had the bike, but I learned the V-brake wheelies on an Avalon Walmart bike with the 7-speed twisty gear thingy. I had one of those bikes. The brakes were trash. And that's how I learned basically V-brake wheelie. I started wheeling on the brakes that like you pedal back, but then I really mastered it in I think it was 2015 or 2016. Now, however, if you are learning on a Walmart bike or a bike that doesn't have good brakes, try to make your brakes work good. All right, there's many ways you can get your brakes adjusted. You could take it to a bike shop. You could do it yourself if you got the tools. But pretty much you want to make sure you can be able to stop if you need to stop. Because when you wheelie, to keep your body in that balance point, you got to hit the brake a few times to keep that wheel at that certain balance point. So make sure you got good brakes when you're wheeling. Quick little backstory, guys. My first SC bike was a Public Enemy Big Ripper. I bought it used for like 550 bucks. It had some issues, I'm not gonna lie. The back rim needed to be trued. The brakes sucked. I needed to get a new brake system. It needed new rims. I didn't even really know it needed new rims, but it definitely needed new rims, new cranks. First ride out, I took that thing to the cranks freaking fell off. It was a Hoagie. So for all you guys that are learning how to wheelie on a Big Ripper, one of the things that I did make sure, like I said, was my brakes were good. And another thing I did, I remember messing with the handlebar and the seat adjustment on the bike. People always ask me, yo, Steezy, why do you have the stem flipped upside down? Well, if you guys didn't know, with the stem flipped up with these kind of bars, it makes the bars a few inches taller. I have long arms, and I don't know, for me, it just doesn't feel comfortable with that rise, especially when I'm trying to swerve and cut through the pack. I feel like with the stem flipped down, it shortens it a little bit. And then I adjusted my handlebars, if you guys can see. I adjusted my handlebars to stick out. When I do get in that wheelie position, as you can see, like this is my arm straight out and I'm comfortable, all right? So when that bike is in the air, I'm trying to swerve left to right. left to right when I'm trying to cut. It's a motion when you're wheeling and swerving, all right? It's body movement. It's how much brake you're using to slow down so you can stay in that balance point while you're wheeling. If you guys have a big ripper and you're trying to learn how to wheelie, try flipping the stem if you don't like the height of it, and adjust the handlebars accordingly. If you have short arms, you might want to pull the handlebars in a little bit more. All you gotta do is just loosen up these screws, pull the handlebars back, and then tighten them. So yeah, just give that a try. And remember, again, make sure you got good brakes. I don't got good brakes right now because I've crashed this bike twice. As you guys can see, look at the damages. I crashed bad on this bike, so this bike's about to get a powder coat soon. Another thing is the seat position, all right? I try to have the seat a little bit taller than the stem height, only because I'm a tall dude. I'm 6'5", guys. So, you know, I'm kind of a tall dude on these 29-inch bikes, but I still make it work, you feel me? So make sure you got a good seat position. I got my seat a couple of inches taller than the stem, and I have that slant. You guys, if some of you guys know that wheelie slant, basically you just loosen this screw on the bottom and adjust your seat how you want it. I try to have the seat pointing inwards. It all depends on how comfortable you feel on the bike. You gotta be comfortable on the bike when you're about to wheelie, because if you're not comfortable, you know, you wouldn't be able to wheelie smoothly. If you gotta raise your seat, raise your seat. You don't always have to have your seat slammed to learn how to wheelie. If you gotta raise it up a little bit, raise it up, and then once you get into that combo stage, then you can lower it so you can do your combos. But for some of you guys trying to master the wheelies, adjust your bike how you want it. Don't, you know, try to look at other people's bikes and, oh, I want it like this, I want it like that. No, because I always get made fun of, like, yo, why you got your seat so high? That's what makes my wheelies comfortable. And it's not something you're gonna learn overnight, guys. Trust me, you're not gonna learn how to wheelie overnight. It's gonna take a lot of time, it's gonna take a lot of practice, but eventually you'll get it. I feel like I talk about this a lot on my channel. Another thing that I found has helped me with my wheelies is my gear ratio. I'm still running stock gear ratio with a ride out supply freewheel, 16 tooth ride out supply freewheel, so it's just a little bit louder. But if you guys find that the 3616 is hard to lift up on these big rippers or any bike, if you have a weird gear ratio, try to start off with a 3316. And if you guys are trying to wonder what your gear ratio is, basically just count how many teeth you got in the front and count how many teeth you got in the rear. You may have to take off the back wheel. If you're learning on a geared bike, try to wheelie in the highest gear possible. You could also do a 3315. I run that gear ratio on some of my big rippers as well. But for now, this big ripper has a 3616, and I've actually been cutting up. I've been really comfortable with the 3616. My dub ripper has a 3616 as well. So changing the gear ratio can help with your wheelies. And also tire PSI. In the front, I'm running like 35, maybe 40 PSI. In the rear, I'm running 50 PSI. Now, be careful. If you got cheap tubes in your bike and you put in all that air, the tire might explode. So make sure you ain't got cheap inner tubes and stuff. Start off with putting 40 and then 45 and fill the tire, see how hard it is, pause, and then go from there. There ain't really much to it, guys. I pretty much put in the time, put in the effort into learning how to wheelie. Make sure you get comfortable with whatever bike it is that you're trying to learn how to wheelie on. Just wanted to go over those things with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys, you know, wonder, how did I learn and what are some tips that I could give to my viewers that'll help them wheelies.
All right, YouTube, listen. What gives a f about you? You see this right here? Mine. All right, we have a young Steeezy Filmz in our custody. If you want to see him back, DM me right now at One Way Patchers on Instagram. I want $3,000 cash app. Y'all want to see your boy Steeezy.
Don't fold, don't fold.